New provincial legislation that would give the ruling UCP party more control over municipalities.
Bill 28 is a needed stepping up of accountability measures.
They don't know what they don't know, and maybe having somebody within their party run for city council so they could learn a little bit more about the organization.
And reaction on Calgary Council is mixed. Pipe reinforcement work done, water restrictions lifted.
And I'm asking residents and businesses to be prepared.
But also caution about our fragile water system.
I hadn't seen these slides for 25 years.
And thousands of stories told through slides, now on display in the digital age.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Camilla DiGiuseppe.
Good evening. The Alberta government is proposing dozens of changes to municipal rules on housing, taxes, accountability, and more. Wide-ranging legislation could quash vacancy taxes and create codes of conduct for councillors. But some say the updates go too far. Jordan Canagan reports.
The provincial government is taking another step into City Hall.
In a legal sense, and it's a legal phrase, municipalities are creatures of the province, meaning statute creates them.
And some of those rules will change under Bill 28. The wide-ranging legislation covers updates to housing, taxes, governance, transparency, and more. Among those, a universal code of conduct for all municipal politicians.
Bill 28 is a needed stepping up of accountability measures and code of conducts for municipal officials. Right now we're operating largely in a vacuum. There's not really due process for complaints.
The Alberta government is also set to prohibit vacancy taxes for Alberta residents. Canmore wants to target vacation homeowners amid a housing shortage. The town's livability tax program will still move ahead, but in a limited scope.
Rather than looking at it as a loss of dollars compared to what we were expecting, what we are going to be getting is an increase in dollars that we will have at our disposal.
More changes could give the province the power to order municipalities to transfer control of utilities to a public entity. It's something Calgary is already considering with its water system and NMAX.
For me, more autonomy, not more rules and regulations is what the large urban centers are looking for. Again, the ability to self-govern is something the province is looking at with regards to federal oversight. So I would say we have the capacity in-house. We don't need Big Brother watching over us.
But the minister says the changes provide clarity and builds trust in municipalities.
We need to have somebody whose core responsibility isn't delivering the municipal services, but instead is overseeing how the system works.
Jordan Canagan, CTV News, Calgary.
The Alberta NDP says the sweeping legislation is taking away the ability of people to make their own decisions. Calgary's mayor is using an interview from 2022 to push back against the provincial property tax hike.
I think that Mayor Jody Gondek has a great point. I've looked at it too. The amount of money that gets taken out of Calgary in education property taxes versus what gets transferred back in municipal grants.
That clip is from Danielle Smith when she announced her bid for the UCP leadership 4 years ago. It was shared by Jeremy Farkas on Wednesday. In the clip, Smith questions the current method of a provincial property tax that would go to general revenues. Farkas said the province has increased its portion of property taxes by 57% over the last 4 years. The mayor says he wants to hold the premier to her word.
When she characterized the current system that we have as equalization, I fully agree with those comments. And when she stated that she's seeking a more reasonable deal for Alberta municipalities, I also agree with that too. So that said, I'm holding the provincial government to account.
Farkas says he isn't seeking a dysfunctional relationship with the province, but he'll hold them to account when he disagrees. We have reached out to the Premier's office for comments. The province says proposed new rules affecting public libraries are not a book ban, but libraries say it is censorship. Bill 28 also amends the Libraries Act to allow the minister to respond to complaints about books that may contain visual depictions of sex. Libraries would then have to make sure those books would not be available to anyone under the age of 16. Options include having such material controlled by library staff or put in separate areas. The The minister says the province is seeking input from parents and librarians.
Librarian staff is going to be a part of how we roll this out, and that's why parental authority, any parent that wants kids to have access to any material in a library, they can grant that authority to their children. It's not my job to get in the way of that, but until that permission is given, those who are under the age of 16 are going to have to get their parents' permission.
The Coalition of Alberta Public Libraries released a statement this afternoon saying libraries were not consulted on the changes and that Albertans overwhelmingly trust public libraries to make appropriate decisions without government interference. In just a matter of a year, the MLA for Airdrie Cochrane went from sitting in the UCP government caucus, then as an independent, to leading and launching a new political party in Alberta. It hasn't been an easy road for Peter Guthrie, but tonight he and his newly formed Progressive Tory Party of Alberta launched in Calgary. Supporters gathered at the BMO Centre tonight for the party's formal unveiling. A similar event was held in Edmonton last month. Guthrie was a member of the Smith government's caucus, but was expelled last April after criticizing the province's handling of the health contract scandal and aligning with the opposition on a public inquiry motion. Guthrie says his party is the alternative for Alberta Conservatives whose beliefs no longer align with the direction of the UCP party.
We've had every obstacle possible put in front of us, but there is a desire for that progressive conservative movement to be back. There's a lot of people that feel politically homeless in this province, and you could see it there tonight. There's a lot of energy, and it's building.
Guthrie says his party's key pillars are fiscal responsibility, accountability, limited government, Alberta remaining part of Canada, and evidence-based decisions. With Albertans expected to head to the polls next year, Guthrie says his party wants representation in all 87 ridings. Calgarians are breathing a sigh of relief tonight, with water restrictions now lifted after 24 days of repairs to the South Bear Spa feeder main. Businesses affected by lost revenue and layoffs say they're welcoming the change, but many remain uncertain about what comes next. Mark Villani has the latest.
After 3 weeks of repairs, the city says there's light at the end of Calgary's water main tunneling saga.
Well, Calgary, you did it. We did it.
Repairs on 9 high-risk sections of the pipe are complete, reinforcing the line and replacing valves. It means water restrictions are officially lifted and water is flowing again through the Bear Spa South feeder main. Recreation centers are back to normal operations too, and the water shortage worry firefighters had is also gone. But this is all just a temporary fix.
We are living in a new reality. One where this feeder main is critically compromised, and yes, one where it could fail again at any time.
The next step comes in mid-April with a pipe inspection using a mechanical device to check its condition.
Working underground is always the riskiest time for us when we're working on projects. We will encounter problems, but the teams will work to overcome them.
And some Calgarians say they're optimistic after these latest water conservation efforts.
It's great that things are flowing and moving so that it's just not an additional thought.
But others are a little more concerned.
I'm a little worried about our infrastructure. There's so much need right now in the city. So, I know, a lot of people are close to bankruptcy.
We were at a $350,000 loss.
That's how much this Calgary irrigation business says it lost during stage 4 water restrictions. It had to lay off staff and worries about the pipe bursting again.
We've looked into branching out into other locations, other provinces, as a result of these restrictions.
Meanwhile, other businesses want compensation.
Do I think that we should be able to charge for a percentage of what we've lost in total income? Yeah.
No plans are in place to compensate, but the city says supporting businesses is top of mind, and conserving water, even without restrictions, could still be vital.
We cannot afford to become complacent.
Mark Villani, CTV News, Calgary.
Another round of water restrictions will come this fall for the installation of the new pipe. The federal Conservative leader is calling for relief at the pumps because of the ongoing pressure from the Iran war. Pierre Poilievre wants the federal government to cut gas taxes for the rest of the year. He says it would save a family of 4 an average of $1,200. Alberta's finance minister says July is the earliest provincial gas taxes could be adjusted. Legislation limits changes to the start of the financial quarter. Nate Horner thinks the federal government should take a page out of Alberta's playbook using similar formulas.
I think every government is very focused on, what levers are available to provide affordability right now. I think Alberta's fortunate that we've taken the position to legislate our fuel tax relief. I think they should look for something that's, long-term as opposed to these ad hoc reactionary changes that everyone's looking for.
In Alberta, the provincial gas tax is currently 13 cents per litre. The federal gas tax is 10 cents per litre plus GST. Well, it was a slow day on Calgary roads today as a significant snowfall led to low visibility and slick surfaces. There have been close to 180 collisions in the city today, 28 of them involving injuries, and the issues haven't just impacted drivers. YYC had a number of delays throughout the day. In fact, some airlines even pre-canceled flights in advance of this snowfall. Maybe the only happy people, those in the towing industry.
Keep distance, slow down, don't get distracted by be on the phone. Don't change winter tire to summer tire at least till end of the winter. This snow can surprise you anytime.
City crews say they've cleared priority 1 routes and have been working on 2s. They remind drivers to take it slow out there and to leave yourself time to get to where you need. Danielle is in with our first look at the weather. We're now into the long weekend or the Easter weekend. Maybe a bit of a reprieve?
Yeah, so we paid our dues and now we get to enjoy a really nice and more spring-like long weekend. I mean, we may get a few flurries on Sunday, but we'll talk about that a little later in the show. For tomorrow morning, a wind chill of -7 at 8 a.m. There will likely be some fog patches out there as well. So cool and a bit foggy, but then the clouds will clear out. And we are looking at late morning, early afternoon, a good chunk of sunshine. There's a small chance of a late day around the supper hours pop-up shower. Again, it's very isolated, very brief if we get it at all. High of 8 degrees for tomorrow. Your full long weekend forecast is just ahead.
Of a Canadian to the moon. Hugs there at the Capcom console from NASA astronaut and Capcom or capsule communicator Chris Birch with Artemis II backup and Canadian Space Agency astronaut Jenny Gibbons.
Calgary-born astronaut Jenny Gibbons in the blue blouse sharing a moment at NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston. Gibbons is serving as a critical voice link from Earth to the Artemis II crew, which includes fellow Canadian astronaut Jeremy Henson on board the Orion spacecraft, which left the Earth's orbit with one huge thrust, an historic moon mission over 50 years in the making. An earthquake shakes central Alberta. It's a rare occurrence. We'll tell you where it was felt and what more we know about it tonight.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
A known sex offender who has committed crimes against children in Calgary will soon be living in Edmonton. Edmonton police put out a warning today about Alfred White, who has committed several child sex offenses in Calgary in 2018. He was arrested in 2020. White has since reoffended by possessing and uploading child pornography. He will be released in Edmonton in the coming weeks. Calgary's rezoning public debate will continue next week. The city has heard from 400 speakers so far. About 520 signed up to have their say, and those remaining will still get a chance if they show up Tuesday morning. Council will then move on to questions to administration, amendments, debate, and a final decision. The land use bylaw was passed in 2024 to allow the building of more townhomes and row homes. Alberta country music artist Corb Lund is hitting the road to promote his anti-coal mining petition. The Water Not Coal petition aims to protect the Rockies from future coal developments. Over the next 3 days, Lund will visit more than a dozen towns and cities across the province. He'll be in Calgary on Saturday. Lund hopes to collect signatures and educate people about coal mining risks.
If we get our signatures, when we get our signatures, the Premier has said publicly that we will be included in the October 19th referendum. So yeah, a big part of this is, well, you know, when that hits, then it's a matter of convincing a majority of Albertans that this is a bad idea for Alberta.
The Water Not Coal petition needs just over 177,000 signatures to be successful. Hundreds of people north of Edmonton felt an earthquake last night, leaving many shaken and confused. Miriam Valdez-Carletti takes a look at what may have triggered it.
It was a quiet evening in Gibbons Wednesday evening when something in the area felt off.
My bed shook, the walls shook, and I immediately ran outside to see what happened, but I couldn't figure it out.
It just was kind of shook the house, but I just thought that was like a weird wind gust, I thought, eh?
It was really rumbling in my room, and I didn't know what that was. And I thought it was just some people walking, like really loudly.
Turns out it was a 4.5 magnitude earthquake. It was recorded in this area, 42 kilometers northeast of Morinville, just before 5:30 p.m.
A seismologist I spoke to says earthquakes aren't common in Alberta or this area. In the last 40 years, there have been 6 earthquakes within 50 kilometers of the one that happened here.
Those were all really small, magnitude 3s, 2 or 3s. So it's an unusual location for earthquakes. Typically, it's very quiet in the prairies.
Seismologist John Cassidy says more than 500 people reported to Natural Resources Canada that they felt the quake. The Alberta Energy Regulator confirmed this was a known induced earthquake.
We see a lot of earthquakes that are related to industrial activities, to oil and gas.
Cassidy says a 4.5 magnitude earthquake doesn't cause much damage, but can be felt by everyone.
They were all clucking out there. All the neighbors' chickens were just a-going. The horses were going a little nuts. It was pretty unnerving and scary, something I sure don't want to do again.
The Alberta Geological Survey says the earthquake didn't cause any damage or injuries. It's still determining the cause. In Gibbons, Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News.
Danielle's up next with her Skywatch forecast and the long weekend looking like it's going to warm up for us. Those details next.
All right, well, I have your Easter long weekend forecast for you, but before we get into that, let's look at today's daytime highs, which, as you know, we're not very high. We got up to 1 in the city today. Whew. Yeah, it should be around 8-9 degrees for this time of year. 5 was the high in Lethbridge, 4 in Medicine Hat, 3 in Milk River. We will be much warmer for our long weekend in all communities in southern Alberta. Here's a look at this system, and it certainly did provide a good punch of snow for many communities. That wet, heavy snow, harder to shovel. This is out of the way for at least the next couple of days, and on Sunday we have the potential for some snowfall, but it shouldn't be nearly as much as what we got today. I'll walk you through that in just a second, but let's just look at this system, and it will be fully and completely out by about 3 in the morning, as you can see by your timestamp here. Now, for the morning hours, most places in southern Alberta have the potential for fog patches tonight through tomorrow morning. The clouds clearing out later in the morning hours, so we will get a good chunk of sunshine for the late morning, early afternoon in the city, down through Lethbridge as well. Let me advance this though, because we will have some instability because of the stateside system that's been passing through and what's going on to the east of us. We have that air getting pushed up the mountains, a little bit of late day instability, which will lead to some pop-up showers, and in some cases maybe even a pop-up non-severe thunderstorm. Now, most likely that's up QE2 and just to the west of QE2. We will likely see some of this down Highway 2, but small chance we're going to see that in Calgary as well. Don't be surprised if late day Friday and even late day Saturday we see some isolated showers. It won't last long. It will be very brief, and there's a small chance of getting it in the city. All right, 8 degrees is our highs for Friday and Saturday, which is much warmer than what we got today, and it will be brighter as well. The clouds will roll in for Sunday as the next system approaches, and then trace to about 1 centimeter is possible Sunday, especially later in the day, and as you can see, temperatures will fall by then. I do want to show you the 10-day trend to just give you that indication of, yes, we will have warmer days in our longer range forecast, as you can see here, but we will have those dips which are typical for this time of year, closer to the freezing mark, and likely some mixed precipitation for Sunday, for example, and then for the middle of next week too.
All right, Danielle, thank you. A Calgary Photographer's Archives, now a unique art project and serving as a window to the past. Stay with us. Not very many people were happy to see the snow this morning, but Yele was out exploring his new home at the Calgary Zoo, and he loved it. He completed the quarantine this week after arriving from a zoo in Quebec. Staff are allowing him to settle in before meeting the zoo's other polar bear, Siku, soon. Well, we all take pictures today with cameras on our phones, but 40 years ago, news photographers were shooting on film, and all those pictures had to be developed. A longtime professional photographer has amassed quite a collection with slides from the 1980s. Now he's turning them into an art display to provide a window to the past. Kevin Fleming reports.
He started his career in 1981, and in that decade, Pat Price shot more than 30,000 slides for various news outlets. He's taken photos of royalty, celebrities, sports stars, cowboys, and farmers. He's kept many of the slides he shot in boxes at his home, and in December, he started going through them.
I had forgotten a lot of these images, of course. And the funny thing about when you do this a long time, and I'm sure any photographer can relate to this, you might forget what you shot 20 years ago, but as soon as you see that image, you know it's yours.
Price spent a month editing 1,200 slides and began mounting them onto the glass of old window frames.
The beauty about doing this is the visual effect is really cool, but when people start looking at some of the people that are in the slides, and then they kind of go, oh, look, there's Gorbachev, or there's Bob Dylan, or there's Alice Cooper.
Price is working at a community art center in Cochrane. Tony Millwater says he's impressed at how the slides have been turned into art.
It never ceases to amaze me the creativity that comes together when you meld two different mediums together, which is a big reason why we keep this space open concept, because when people see Pat working on his project, they're inquisitive, they're curious, they come and say hi.
Price says many of the images have brought back memories. One involves going to the home of then Premier Ralph Klein, who is known for his controversial statements.
Ralph says to me, well, tell me about yourself, Pat. And I said, well, I was smirking by then. I said, I'm one of those bums and creeps that came from Ontario. Colleen looked at Ralph, and all of a sudden Ralph burst out laughing, and I burst out, Colleen burst out laughing.
The finished window frames are like taking a trip back in time, and Price plans to make many more with his collection of slides. Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Cochrane.
Stunning art display. All right, that's it for us here at CTV News at 11:30. Have yourself a good Easter weekend, and we will see you soon. Good night.